Okay, so we are live in the Facebook group. So welcome everyone. Happy Thursday evening. Welcome to PR. Six reasons you need to use PR to grow your small business. I am Meredith Hurston, the founder of Always Buy Black, and I am here with Tonya L, who is the Chief Communications Officer at TLM Public Relations. Tanya is passionate about developing brand initiatives and internal communication and external media relations. Her current role, she is an event and productions corporate relations manager at. Oh, before her current role, I'm sorry, she was an event productions and corporate relations manager at BET Networks, which is Black Entertainment Television, targeting African American audiences. She has over 10 years of event management experience and has helped contrive colossal events such as the BET Awards, Bobby Jones Gospel, Black Girls Rock. Those are all things that we are definitely familiar with. And so she's going to be giving us some public relations tips this evening. So thank you for presenting to our group this evening, Tanya.
Yes. Well, thank you, Meredith, for having me. It's a pleasure and an honor for me to be able to present on today. So I thank you for having me. So can I share the screen?
You absolutely can.
You have it disabled so I can pull up the presentation. Can you make me host so
Oh,
I can pull it up?
I'm sorry. I think my computer may have frozen. It says my internet is unstable. That is not good. Are you able to share the screen or is it not? Do I not give you screen sharing rights?
You haven't. You just have to let me be host, convert me to host, and then I can share my screen.
Okay, cool. Let me do that now. Okay, you should be the meeting host now.
Okay. Are you able to see the screen, my PowerPoint presentation?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to get started. Again, I am Tonya L. I am the Chief Operations Communications Officer at TLMPR, which is located in Baltimore, Maryland, downtown Baltimore, Maryland. So today we're going to talk about 6 reasons why small businesses must do PR. Making the best use of your resources and generating new businesses. So first of all, before we talk about the 6 reasons, we're going to go into what is PR or public relations. That is a question that I have so many people ask me. What is PR or public relations? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So public relations is a strategic communication process that builds mutually beneficial relationships between organizations and their publics. And publics are very important. And a publics, it represents more than just your client. It represents so many different facets, like who are the publics. So you have customers. Customers are your publics. Potential customers are your publics. Employees, suppliers, investors, media, and general public. They are all your publics. And in public relations, it's all about building the relationships with these publics. You have to build the relationships with these publics because these publics are the ones who can talk great about your brand or they can damage your brand. So you definitely want to build these relationships. Just a little bit history about me. When I started in PR, I started at BET Networks. I started, I was working at a job and I was like, okay, I'm going to go to LA. I relocated from Baltimore, went to LA to start working for BET Networks. And I started working in public relations. And at that time, I was working in an administrative role. However, when I saw public relations, I thought public relations was okay. We deal with celebrities, we go on to these red carpet events, and we walk the talent down the carpet and help them to get media coverage. And that is one facet of public relations, being a publicist, but it's so much more than that. So let's talk about PR versus publicity, because sometimes people get that mixed up. There's a difference between the two. One second. So a client may say, we need some PR, when in fact, he or she means we need some positive publicity. I don't know why my notes not coming up. So this means finding ways to get the media to write about your business. Small businesses can't spend millions of dollars. Okay, here we go. 6 reasons why small businesses must do PR. I don't know why it's not working. Sorry.
No worries. Technology always likes to throw fits. It's crazy.
Yeah, since you're sharing the screen with me, for some reason it just is acting up. But anyway, we're going to keep going. So reason number 1, it stretches your budget. This means finding ways to get the media to write about your business. Small businesses can't spend millions of dollars on marketing. The average larger company spends around 9 to 12% of its revenue on marketing. The average small business can spend as little as 2% on marketing. 1, to stretch your budget, you must establish and understand what your business goals are. If you don't understand what your business goals are, you really don't know how to market your business. So the number 2, you need to make social media a strategic part of your marketing efforts. Because of social media, communication has changed tremendously because of social media. So you definitely want to include a social media strategy part in your marketing efforts. And in that, a lot of time goes into social media strategy, because you have to make content. You have to ensure that you are creating messages that's going to target your audience. So if you don't have a plan, there's no need to even do social media, because you need to have a plan to know what type of content to create and the messaging to create that's going to attract the customer that you're trying to get to convert. So another thing is you need to leverage free or inexpensive content marketing to stretch your budget. You want to really stretch your budget. I know a lot of money goes into marketing, but when you have a small business, you may not have a big budget for marketing. So PR is earned media. You know, advertisement marketing is more so it's paid media. So you really want to get earned media, because you're earning people's trust. It's more authentic. So that is a reason why you want to do that. It's more effective than advertising. Like I said, advertising is more about paid. It's one way. You want to get authentic reviews. You want to get authentic brand ambassadors. You want people who are going to give good reviews. They're going to spread the word about your business. And it's just more authentic that way. PR love marketing. Third-party validations by an editor or newscaster is far more persuasive than a one-sided commercial. Additionally, while advertising builds exposure, public relations build trust. That is very important. You want to build trust. You want to build relationships. Use PR to provide and deliver real value to your audience, be it by sharing something useful, educational, or inspiring, and you'll win people's attention. Good PR strategies prevent problems. For small businesses that rely heavily on word of mouth, upset customers can spread bad publicity and put a dent in your brand credibility. That's not all. Employee related scandals, defective products, and potential lawsuits can be mitigated if dealt with quickly and in the right way. A key part of PR is to stay on top of what's being said about your business and making sure that information that's being spread is accurate. PR boosts brand visibility. Unlike traditional media, online media doesn't have a shelf life. News articles remain visible on search engines indefinitely. By sharing timely and relevant stories across earned, owned, and shared channels, you will keep your business high up in search engine rankings, which will in turn bring more customers knocking on your door. Creates long-lasting relationships. As PR is about building trust and delivering value, you'll establish lasting relationships and generate goodwill. Commit at least 30 to 60 minutes to do PR, and you'll see the returns regarding new customers and more people talking about your business. Strategies. Now, this is important. Strategies. I was talking about social media strategies. That is something that is very, very important. And what we do here at TLM PR, we organize communications. So we organize the internal communications because before you can even put out anything externally, you want to make sure your internal team is all on the same page. You want to make sure that everyone is on the same page so that when you are disseminating the information or the content or the messaging, it's all clear, concise, and cohesive. So that is one of the things that you want to ensure that the whole team, whether it's your marketing team, your finance team, all the teams or departments that you have, they have input into your message or your brand or social media. So you want to make sure you bring all these departments together, organizations, or you may just be a brand by yourself. But if you have different employees, bring everybody together so that you can have a strategy. So when you are creating content and you are creating messages for your target audience, you are creating stuff that they are interested in, and they will buy your product, or they will, when they're looking for resources, they'll come to you for that because they know that you are customizing your content and your messaging directly for them. Another thing that we do at TLM PR, we create social media playbooks. And in the social media playbooks, what we do is we do a market and consumer research analysis. So we take the time, and the reason why we created a social media playbook, because a lot of small businesses may not have a large team of people, and social media takes up a lot of time. And you just don't want to be blindly putting things out there just to see if it sticks. You want to have a plan. So with the social media playbook, we sit down and we do a social media audit of the small business. We do the social media audit. We kind of look at who their target audience is. We do the research of the buying habits of the target audiences. So that way we know exactly, like I said before, what type of content that will attract them, what type of messaging that will attract them. And we put all the content together, and then we package it and we give it to the small businesses. So that way they have a blueprint that they can give out to the whole team, so it can unify the organization, so that, like I said before, what's important is making sure there's clear, concise communication, and there's one voice in messaging when you're sending out content. Like I said before, clear, concise, cohesive communication is very, very important.
I have a question,
Yes.
if it's okay. You mentioned about 30 to 60 minutes. Is that per day or per week in terms of focusing on your PR?
I would say take the 30 to 60 like per day. You
Okay.
know, yeah, per day. And just build those relationships, because build authentic relationships. Don't just build relationships, or say, for instance, for media, for me, it used to be a time when, you reach out to media, you just do a whole distribution list and you send the same email to every media outlet or influencer. That's not cool, because if you don't take the time to research that media outlet, what they write about, what their beats are, if you don't take the time to see, when they like, how they like their press releases sent, or how they like their information sent, what type of articles or different things that they write about, and you're just blindly sending it out, you're wasting. First of all, journalists don't have a whole bunch of time, so their mailboxes are cluttered all the time. But if you take the time, follow them on social media, read their stories, build relationship with them, let them know you're reading their stories and you're seriously interested in what they're reading, and even give them feedback on some of their articles, also sharing their articles, building those types of relationships, so that when you do need them, you've already built that relationship with them and you can easily get in the door that way, instead of just, blindly DMing someone that you haven't even read their articles. You don't even know what they write about, but you want them to write about you, or to, give you some media coverage. It time out for that. That's not authentic. We should be authentic. We should build authentic relationships, because that goes a long way.
That's really good insight. And I have another question, but
Mhm.
before I ask my other question, I wanted to welcome the other three guests that we had join. I see Lisa and Erica and Jackie. And if you guys could just drop in the chat where you're tuning in from, and if you have any questions, feel free to list those in the chat and we will get to them. And my other question, Tanya, is you mentioned the term earned media. Can you talk a little bit more about what that means versus, I guess, not earned?
Well, earned media it's authentic. It's trust. You earn it when you want to build trust. You don't just trust someone off the bat. You have to earn that trust. And earning that trust is about by building that relationship. So that's earned media. They can speak on your behalf because they trust you. But when you do commercials, you can pay somebody to say good things about you. So that's not really authentic. It's paid. It's more commercial. Um, it's paid. So that's the difference between earned media and paid media.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. So another thing, when we talk about social media and getting to, know your client, and your customer, you have to take time to get to know them. Like I said, you have to do the research and really find out what their buying habits are. What's their demographic? Where do they live? Like what do they listen to? What you have to learn their habits. You have to even monitor your clients, your target audience. You have to monitor even your social media sites. You have to monitor that just to see what people are saying. And you have to listen, not just monitor, but you have to listen and listen to them, because you want to solve it. You got to find out what the pain points, because we may have brilliant ideas and we may have a product and we may think it's brilliant, but if it's not helping someone else, if it's not solving a problem, it then what's the point? It's good for us, but we're not solving the problem. So with that being said, you definitely want to know what the pain points are. How are you helping these clients? Me creating a social media playbook, I'm helping small businesses save money and buy back time, so that they, on the back end, I could take some of that strain off of them, so that on the front end they can take care some other more important businesses, as far like building the relationships with their suppliers, building relationships with their customers, building relationships with their investors. That's where their time should be, instead of worrying about, how, worrying about, okay, am I creating the right message? Am I creating the right content? Just hit and miss, hit and miss. So, and then you also have to respond. You want to listen. You want to listen to what your customers have to say, because they're the ones that's going to buy your product. They're the ones that's going to support you. They're the ones that's going to spread the word about you. So you have to listen to them, and you have to respond to them. And whether it be good things, bad things, I mean, all of it, you have to respond to it, and knowing how they feel, this helps you to, better your business, or better your product, or know how to move forward when you're trying to find out what pain points are, and you're trying to solve what those pain points are. So just do a little recap. So 6 reasons why small businesses must do PR. It stretches your budget. If you don't have a really big budget, sometimes PR now, you can do a campaign, they charge a retainer sometimes between $2,000 to $5,000 a month. That's, I mean, for a small business, that may be a lot. That may be a lot for a small business to really have PR representation. Um, but there are some people that will work with you, some people will work with you when it comes to if you have a smaller budget. You just have to be upfront and honest with them, what your budgets are. But I believe a lot of PR professionals, such as myself, we work with small businesses because we know they don't have really, really big budgets. It's more effective than advertising. Like I said, it's earned media. It's more about the relationship and being authentic than just paying someone to say that your product is good when it really may not even be good. PR loves marketing. Good PR strategies prevent problems. If you have strategies, like I said, if you monitor, listen, and respond, you can prevent yourself from having problems because you've done your homework, you've done your research, and you're staying on top of things. And like I said, you're building relationships, and not just building the relationships, but maintaining the relationships. PR boosts brands' visibility, and it creates long-lasting relationships. I can't say that enough. I over-communicate. Relationships go a long way, building, creating, and maintaining relationships. So that's pretty much it for me. I want to open the floor to questions. I didn't want to, keep everybody too long, but I just kind of want to hit the points. And if you have questions, I'm here to answer any questions.
Thank you, Tonya. That was awesome. So I did want to point out, we are doing a giveaway this evening. Tonya is giving away to one business owner this evening a 30-day brand awareness engagement. So if you have any questions, we're going to be randomly picking someone from the chat. So you have to be present to to win. But that is our giveaway for this evening. So I'm excited to see who's going to win that. So if you have any questions for Tonya, please list those in the comment and we will get to them momentarily.
So yeah, so PR is, like I said, PR is, definitely something that is needed. And I believe it can help small businesses go far. It's not just for, some people think PR is just for celebrities or just for, authors but small businesses, big businesses, even having a crisis management plan, just in case, things happen, PR people, PR professionals, we can create communication crisis plans, just to make sure that if a crisis do happen, you are prepared for it. Because a lot of times when crises happen, you're not prepared, and it's like you're not prepared on what you're going to say. You're not prepared on who's going to say what. You're just not prepared. But it's always great to have a crisis management plan, so that when things do come up in your business, you already kind of have a plan, a contingency plan that you can go to make sure that you continue to properly represent your brand. It's crazy. It's a saying that, you can do 1,000 great things, and people will love you. And you can do that one thing that is not so great, or, that's bad. And that one thing is what sticks with you the rest of your life. It's like, it's like everything that you did, all the 10 great things that you did, it kind of goes out the door for that one. But that's why it's really, really important to, when it comes to your brand, make sure that you are doing everything you can do to try to properly represent your brand in everything that you do. So hopefully this helped.
So we do have a question in the comments from Hassan. Is that how you pronounce your name? I'm sorry. Okay. Want to make sure I'm not mispronouncing it. And his question, and you can come off mute if you want to, or I can read it, but he's asking about LinkedIn. Do you want to?
Yes. I'm just wondering, other than LinkedIn, how
Black Lives Matter. I have to say it. Sorry. I have to say it.
How does one make an authentic connection with someone in media?
Please say it
initially.
Black Lives Matter. Please say it.
Tonya, can you give me the control back?
Come on, you're going to kick me out because I am saying Black Lives Matter. I'm just saying I want to make a statement.
Thank you, Jamil.
I'm not black, but I support business, black-owned business. So I want to tell you guys, you're doing an amazing job, and I want to say I will always support you.
Thank you very much.
I live in Syria, not a lot of black people here, but when I go to America, inshallah, one day I will support black business. I love Michael Jackson, Eartha Kitt, all of that I love. I also love everything.
Thank you.
So Hassan.
Yes, I'm not sure if you caught my question there.
So it was about LinkedIn. You said, how do you make authentic?
Yeah, actually, outside of LinkedIn, like how does a small business owner, I'm just thinking of some of my clients who are just kind of one person, they don't have too much time, and if they're going to like make connections, how should they go about doing that?
So what they should do is, Twitter is a good place. Read, like I said, read their articles. Find out what they're talking about and start engaging in the conversations. Like if they write an article, read the article and share the article. But when you share it or retweet it, tweet it with your voice, with a comment, so that they can see that you are interested and you have a voice. You can start a conversation, even if it's not a conversation, just a comment. So just doing that. On Twitter, making a list of all. Do your research on the different. So say for instance, say your restaurant and you're looking for journalists that write about food. Then research all of the journalists that write about food, like on Twitter. Make your list and start following them. Follow them, see what they're talking about, start, liking, retweeting, tweet, comment, so they can start seeing your name and seeing your face. And then when the time is right, then you can kind of slide in the DM and be like, hi, I love your articles. I'm really engaged about your articles, blah, blah, blah. I have a client who does such and such and such, kind of put it in like that, but just not off the bat, hey, I got a client, can you, no, you want to build that relationship.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And be and authentic about it, because they know when you're not authentic. And so that's the way that I would build the relationship with the media.
Thanks.
And then when they have, look when they have like, webinars and stuff like that, I mean, join them, listen in, now they're doing Zoom where they can see your face, they can put a name with the face. So participating in, events and stuff like that. So I hope I answered your question.
Yes, thank you. That was very helpful. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Good evening, Grace. Thank you for joining us. Did you have any questions for Tonya this evening about public relations?
I just got on the call. I'm sorry I was joining late, but I was very interested in the topic. I am changing my business platform from brick and mortar to selling online. So I'm not very tech savvy and sort of old school as it relates to technology. So I was always interested and open to hearing, get guidance and tips on what I need to do. And so that's why I'm here.
Grace had a really nice boutique on Charles Street. I know you sold beads and jewelry, Grace, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Handcrafted jewelry, bags, home decor, but also beads.
Mm-hmm. So me asking, so we have everybody on here. I kind of just, if it's okay, can I interact? And I just want to know, can y'all tell me what y'all businesses are? Everybody have their own small business, right?
Well, I'm not a business owner. I'm a volunteer with SCORE. I'm actually a banker. I'm in commercial lending for middle market companies, and I volunteer as a SCORE mentor for small businesses. And so I just like to learn a lot about things that my clients are interested in, and outside of financing, they have other needs about scaling and other things. So I just try to get as much information as I can. So this is very helpful.
Awesome. What are some other pain points that you all have as a small business? Like what things when it comes to marketing and PR, like what is it that you need help with?
Tonya, I see that Erica has a question. Erica, would you like to ask your question?
I do, and it goes to what you were just asking. My question. Good evening, and thanks for hosting this really great seminar. So my question is it worth hiring someone to do your social media outreach for you? Where someone is putting out just content, keeping people engaged, especially when you just really don't have the time to do it. Just even a little bit goes a long ways. And I have recently hired a virtual assistant to do some things for me, but I think I need somebody to reach out because I don't like being on there all the time, and I really don't have time. I'm home with the kids and trying to work my businesses, not just one business, but businesses. This is really time consuming, and by the time 9 o'clock comes around, I am wiped out.
Absolutely. And I mean, social media is very important because it is your brand. And like I was saying before, if you don't have a plan, it's no use of you doing social media just to be doing social media. It's like, okay, you got to ask yourself, why are you doing social media? You're doing social media just to be doing it. You have to have a plan. You have to have a reason why you're doing it. And it's not a job just to hire an intern just to come in, just to post, just to randomly post, just to be posting. You got to be posting with a purpose, because that could make or break your brand too. So if you don't have the time, like you said, and that was one of the reasons why I created the social media playbook for small businesses is to do all the research, because I know it's time consuming to do all the research and put the social media playbook together in a social media brief, so that you'll have the strategies and stuff there and you can just have someone to execute it. But yeah, social media is a full-time job. It's full-time.
Mhm.
You have to hire somebody that can just focus socially on specifically on social media, because social media is not just posting. You
Right.
have to post, you have to listen, you have to monitor, you have to respond,
Mhm.
and then it's analytics, because you want the analytics. You have to know, you got to have the metrics, because you want to know, okay, if the content that you're posting, is it increasing engagement? Are people following you? Are they unfollowing you? Are you really, the people that's following you, are they really your target audience, or they're just a whole bunch of friends? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a whole strategy to it. So it takes a person dedicated that knows about social media, because it's changing so quickly. What used to be Instagram, now it's TikTok, now it's Reels. And if you're not the type that keep up with all the moving parts when it comes to it, you'll be lost in it.
Right, right. Yeah, and so that's why I'm wondering if I should just hire someone to do just that, just to keep me out there and keep my businesses engaged in what's going on out there.
Yes, I would say hire someone
Okay,
that's dedicated to do that.
right. Okay, okay. Thank you.
That was a great question, Erica. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
You're welcome. And we have a question from Grace. And Grace's question is, what are some reasons why we would want to use social media? So like as a brick and mortar business, or even an online business, what are some reasons for using social media to promote or do publicity and PR for your business?
So social media is several things. You can do social media just for brand awareness, just so you can have a presence, you know, on social media. You can do it because you want to increase followers. So, they will buy your brand, buy your product, because that's the whole purpose of social media. You want them to you want to advertise your product, and you want them to buy it. I mean, if you're using social media and no one's buying your product, then maybe social, it all depends on the platform that you're using. Because different platforms target different people. If you're a business and you're trying to target more investors or sponsors, like if you're a nonprofit organization and you're trying to sorry, give me 1 second. If you're like a nonprofit organization and you're trying to target investors or sponsors, then I would say go on LinkedIn, because that's where most of the businesses are. If you are trying to attract millennials, if you have like a product like candles, jewelry, stuff like that, that's Pinterest. You're going to find people on Pinterest. You're going to find them on Instagram, because Instagram is more about images. um, Facebook, I mean, every platform is a different demographic. So that's why you have to find out who your demographic is, or your target audience, so that way you're making sure that you are posting on the right platforms. And you don't have to do all the platforms. Just know the platform. I would say do one and do one well, or do two. It all depends on who your target audience is and who your platform is. But I definitely would hire somebody, or, they have different scheduling apps that you can schedule posts, but then you have to find somebody to create the content. Because I don't know, if you have someone to create your content. So if you have one designated person, I just think it's better to have one designated person that does social media, that will do your social media, and let them focus strictly on that while you do everything else, because social media is time consuming.
I would definitely add it's absolutely time consuming. You can go down the rabbit hole on either one of these platforms, especially like TikTok and Clubhouse. Clubhouse is a new one. You can
Mhm.
spend all day on there and like the
Yeah.
notifications are constant. So it can definitely be a rabbit hole all of its own and kind of get you distracted and off task. In addition to what Tonya said, I absolutely agree with everything she said. In addition to being on social platforms and building your audience and using it to listen to see what people are talking about in your industry. So, like Grace, in your case, you offer beads and jewelry. So, like if you want to kind of search and see what people are talking about with regards to, bracelets or jewelry making or people that are looking for beads and things like that, it's a great listening tool. But I would say, in addition to social media, you want to, as you get your followers, you also want to pull them off of social media and bring them onto your email list. So you want to have some way to like attract them onto your email list, because even though social media is great and most business owners, for the most part, should be on at least one form of social media, you want to make sure that you have your email list because that's the only thing that you own. All of these social platforms, they're good for engaging with other people and building brand awareness. But if they go away tomorrow, you lose all of those followers and you don't have a way to connect with them unless you have an email list. Like you always have their email. So
Mhm.
that would be my only thing to add to that.
That's a great point. Yeah, email is definitely, and then you want to send them back to your website, and because you want them to click, you want them to buy. You want them to buy. You want those clicks.
Absolutely. And if you're feeling really tech savvy and kind of froggy, is it's even better now, or in addition to getting email, it's good to capture phone numbers so that you can start incorporating text marketing too.
Yes, SMS.
Mhm.
That's really big now. Now they have an article talking about businesses texting more so than emailing now, and having a phone that they give to everyone that they text on, because they say text is faster than email because everybody keep their phone on them.
And it's true. And I think we had gotten to a place where we're a little bit, email is still a great tool for sales, but I
Mhm.
feel as though we've gotten a little saturated with email marketing, and sometimes people are not as likely to open your messages like if they know it's marketing, because it's that old, adage, either sell or be sold to. So you may not always be in the mood to be sold to. So you're less likely to open email, but text messages, like you said, it comes directly to your phone. So pretty much you're definitely reading text messages for the most part. The average person is reading text messages unless, you're one of those people that keeps like 200 unread text in your phone.
Exactly.
Yeah, most people are reading text messages, so that's a great touch point. And I think SMS is a little bit, regulated now, so you can't like overwhelm people with a bunch of like spam text messages because that just doesn't work. But it's that's a pretty neat tool to use for marketing as well.
Yeah, because email, I get so much stuff. I unsubscribe because it's so much noise, it's so much content, and if you don't regulate it, you will be overwhelmed with so much content and so many emails and everything that sometimes I just have to unsubscribe because it's just too much. It's an overkill.
I agree. And I go through my email list every so often. And, you have to unsubscribe to some stuff because, you change focus from time to time. And it depends on what season you're in. Some things you want to see, some things you don't. So
Exactly.
I feel you on that.
Yeah, because it'll take you off focus. It'll take you off focus because you're sitting trying to read every little thing. Like, because I mean, I love like Cision and HubSpot. I mean, all of them, they have great information, but it's so many different platforms and it's so much of it, and it's like, oh my god, like it gets overwhelming sometimes.
So you just kind of probably unknowingly dropped a couple of nuggets because it's something that you do every day. But you
Mhm.
just mentioned two websites that I think would be good resources for people that are tuned in with us. You mentioned Cision and HubSpot. So can you tell people what Cision is and then
So
HubSpot?
Cision, yeah, Cision, Meltwater. Cision is a monitoring. Cision and Meltwater are monitoring media monitoring platforms that PR professionals use to monitor media coverage, to do outreach to influencers and stuff like that. HubSpot, Sprout, Hootsuite, all of them are scheduling platforms where you can, schedule out your content on all your platforms for the whole month if you want to. And it just automatically publishes and posts for you. So those are good tools. Like if you don't have a social media manager or a social media person and you want to, and you have some content, you can go on Hootsuite and put all your social platforms on there, put all your content in for the whole month, and it'll publish it for you. You don't even have to worry about it. But the downside to that is you have to make sure that, because things change and you have to be sensitive to the times, so say like the whole Black Lives Matter things happen and you're not being sensitive to what's going on, and you already have something post when that thing happened, people will think that you're insensitive to and you're not connected to what's going on. So you know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense.
Definitely, it does. So you mentioned Cision, which I dropped in the chat, and the other one was HubSpot. And can you talk a little bit about what HubSpot is?
HubSpot is a resource that kind of gives you all types of templates. It gives you, marketing tips, tools. It's just a place that you can go for anything that you need when it comes to marketing, social media. It's just a good resource.
And in addition to Cision and HubSpot, actually, Cision owns Help a Reporter Out, don't they?
Yeah. Yep. Hero. Yep. Help a reporter out. And that's really good because, they'll send out a list every day saying, what stories that they're looking for to get coverage on. So that's a good spot too, if you have a client and you're looking to try to get them some coverage, that's a good place because you can just send it to they give you what they're looking for and everything, and you can just send it. So that's definitely a good one.
So I just dropped the 3 links to those different resources in the chat for people. Does anybody else have any questions? So I want to touch on Help a Reporter Out really quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been on their email list probably a good 5 years, possibly longer. Possibly close to maybe like 7 or 8. And I've had a couple of press mentions. I've had an interview, a couple of press mentions as a result of responding to Hero inquiries. So it's definitely a viable resource to get some mentions in the media and to get your own like feature stories, because I was featured on the CBS Baltimore affiliate in a story. Or no, I wasn't featured, but I was mentioned. And this is all free. These are free. Like, and they Haro sends out, I think 3 emails a day, a morning, afternoon, and evening, basically inquiry. And you would have to go on their website and read the process, because there is a process for how you respond to the emails. But they basically send you all of these queries from different journalists, and you can respond to things that are relevant, to your business or what you would like to have mentions about attached to your name. So that's definitely a great resource.
Yep, that's definitely a great resource. I mean, I have Meltwater. I use Meltwater as my media. I decided to use them opposed to Cision because Cision was a little bit more expensive. And when I did my reviews on Cision, they said Cision's media context was a little dated. So I tried Meltwater because I like Meltwater because they had the social media monitoring and dashboards and stuff like that. So I did with them, but their platform is a little cumbersome though. I mean, you really gotta take time and get to learn the platform. That's the only thing. But once you navigate it and get to know it, then it's not too bad.
Okay, that is good to know. I'll have to check out Meltwater. I have not heard of that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Cision and then Meltwater, but a lot of people been going to Meltwater because Cision is the one that's been around the most. But I just did my research, and the reviews on Cision was a little lower than Meltwater. So
And I know Cision can be pricey, but I know they're the parent company of Help a Reporter Out. So that's the one that I really use and like. But yeah, I know Cision is pretty. I think it was cost prohibitive for me.
it's pretty pricey. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it is too, but because of the pandemic, they did deals, you know.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
Yeah. So they did deals, and then you can pay quarterly.
So I think I can say ladies because I think it's the gentleman is gone. So there's ladies left with us this evening. Are there any more questions, ladies? We can field your questions, or if you have any comments, any topic suggestions. Oh, I'm sorry, somebody speaking.
I had a question regarding if I hired a person to do my content and my posting, I have a responsibility to respond. So that still puts me on social media. And I know that responding in a timely manner is important. So, how do you balance that part of it?
The person who you hire, they should be able to respond. I mean, you should create some um, scripted responses. So if something come through, they already kind of have some scripts that they can say. Um, but whoever you hire, they have to know you, and you have to put together like a social media plan, or what you call it, a social media type of policy, to kind of say, okay, these are the things I want you to say. If they say this or say that, or they just, if something comes through, they have to let you know, and then you could let them know how you want to respond. But that person can do all of that. They can respond. You don't have to respond. They can just come to you and let you know what people are saying. Maybe do daily. They do a recap, like, of after they monitor for the day. They can say, these are the people who are responding. Making comments. What do you want me to say, or something like that. But I mean, if a person really, you get to know them, and they kind of know, they've been around you, and they kind of know, how you talk, what your mission is, what your brand is, they should be able to answer questions and respond.
Thank you. I
As long as
appreciate
you
that.
give them some guidelines. It's just some
Yes.
guidelines. And it has to be somebody, you definitely have to be somebody you trust, and that knows your business pretty much inside and out. You give them a briefing of, everything, and they should be able to do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, social media is necessary, but it's time consuming. It's definitely time consuming. And if you're not a tech savvy person, that's another whole thing.
Do you have any ideas about what it would cost to hire social media consultant?
Well, it's this $98. I don't know if you ever heard of that. It's a company called 98 bucks. They charge 98 bucks a month to create your content and post for you. That may be a good resource for you. And they do other things. $98 a month is, they are post on 5 different platforms 3 times a week.
Okay. Do you know if they're Black owned?
I don't think they Black owned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, this is Erica. I was gonna say, I have a friend who has a business, and she hires someone that she pays $200 a month. But $98 sounds pretty good.
Yeah, look it up. It's called 98 bucks. I'm all about buying Black and staying Black, but that was just a company that I used for a minute. I just used them because I wanted to try them out so I could recommend them to somebody else, you know.
Is it $98 social, Tonya? Does that sound
yeah,
familiar?
$98 social, yeah. And they
I'll drop
will,
the link in the comments.
yeah, they will they have different packages. I mean, if you want them to do more extensive stuff, then you know they'll do it. But the basic package is like 98, and they'll post on, you know, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, 3 times a month. I mean, 3 times a week, or how many ever times you want. I mean, the more you want, the more you pay. Of course, they upcharge, but the basics is 98, and that if you just want brand awareness, you know, because one thing about when people see your name is repetitious, they see. It's like out of sight, out of mind. But at least if you just post in, you know, things that, you know, people can see still that you're out there, then that's one thing, just for brand awareness.
And I have another service that I'm going to be looking into for some social media management, and it's called Pineapple Staffing. It's based in the Philippines, but it's basically like a VA, a virtual assistant agency, and they are $8 an hour. So you have like a dedicated person. And from my understanding, I mean, I would have to confirm it because I haven't met with them yet. But from my understanding, you could hire them, you know, for as few or as many hours as you would like, up to full time. So, you know, per week. So you could easily hire someone, you know, maybe $10 or 10 hours a week or 5 hours a week to manage your social media and create, you know, graphics in Canva, or you know, and they can provide you reports like on a daily or, you know, every other day basis about, you know, what people are saying about your, you know, what people are saying on your social media, if there's anything that you personally need to follow up on or anything like that. So that might be an avenue to pursue as well for people looking for some assistance, and they're, you know, very conscious about the cost.
And Fiverr is another good one. Fiverr, and it's hit and miss on Fiverr. Everything is well, not everything is $5, but a lot of stuff is $5. But I met one person on Fiverr who I had to make me some templates, and I give her information. She makes the templates. She did like 18 templates for like $40 or something like that. And I really enjoyed her. Yeah, Fiverr. I really enjoyed her work. And I just kept going back to her. When I needed some content, I went to her, and she just gave me like 12 at a time or 18 at a time. So 18 pieces of content, that's 18 days if I did one a day, you know what I'm saying? And then once those are gone, I went and got 18 more. So Fiverr is a good resource too. You just got to make sure it's a hit or miss though, because you can find some good freelancers and then you can find some that are not so good. But I mean, the good thing about it is it's not expensive. You can even find a social media manager on there. I think they charge maybe like $200 a month.
Yeah, I like Fiverr. And like you said, it can be hit or miss, but I do like it. I've gotten some good work done as a result of Fiverr. So, and I dropped the link to Fiverr in the chat as well. And Erica asked a question. She wants to know, do I know a web developer that's reasonably priced? I'm trying to think, and I think I saw you post that on Facebook as well too, Erica. I'm not sure. I'll inbox you to get a budget because I'm not sure. I know a couple of web developers, but they're probably a little more pricey.
What's your budget like? What are you trying to stay within? Hello?
$100. No, I already have a web page. I just need to kind of move it around and make it look pretty.
Okay, I have someone named Pinch Design. Pinch Design is really good. They're Black owned. She's Black owned, and Pinch, let me see. Pinch Design. Let me make sure it's the right PINC. Pinch Co.
Okay, I got my iPad.
Let me see, make sure. Okay, Pinch Design, yeah. Pinch, www, let me put it in the chat.
Okay, but let's start. I'll go first. Buddy, I'll go first.
Is it pinchdesign.co, Tonya?
Uh-huh.
I see it.
There's it, code.com. Yeah, Pinch Design code. Yeah, right here.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Yeah, that's it right. Yeah, she does pretty good work. Yeah, she does pretty good work, and she's reasonable. She'll work with you.
Thank you for sharing that resource.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Tell her I referred you if you go to her, but she really does. She does good work, and she'll do a refresh. You know, some people, they may try to charge to do a whole new website, but if you just want to refresh, you know, she can do that for, you know, a reasonable price.
Yeah, and I only have 3 pages. I don't, you know, nobody's paying anything when I'm not selling products. Just 3 pages.
What is the purpose of your website? Is it just like a landing page?
Yeah, it's just a landing page, so that clients or potential clients can know that I really exist, and that's
right.
it.
Right. So, what type of things are you doing to increase the traffic to your website?
I have an email list of close to about 1,000 businesses.
Okay.
But I just want people to be able to open it up and read more about me, and that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good. I'm not giving out any legal advice. You know, I'm not giving out anything that, you know, I just want them to be able to have my information, and that's it.
Right. What is your business?
Well, business number 1 right now is I've gone back into law practice.
Okay.
I got laid off from the title company I worked for. Was counsel for a title company, but I got laid off, so I went back into law practice. But I also have a parent network, and I'm also a real estate investor.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. What other businesses we have on the line on the Zoom? I know you said we had a jewelry company.
Yep, that's me. I do jewelry, handcrafted jewelry, handbags, and home decor.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask, I had a person to develop my logo maybe about 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. And the logo features a woman. My business is called The Touch of Gracie, and that's my name. And I chose to use my name because it's spelled unique. Right. My kindergarten teacher changed it, and so I wanted to hold on to that. But I'm now 72 years old, and the logo represents a younger woman. And so do I need to have my logo updated to kind of reflect a more mature woman? I mean, in terms of branding, how important is that it represents who you are?
Right. And you definitely should constantly refresh. You know, we evolve, we change. So, you know, as you change, your demographic change, your brand, I mean, your mission is the same, but, you know, you want to upgrade, just like, you know, with phones. I mean, you got to upgrade. You got to keep upgrading. As time changes, you got to upgrade. So, yes, I would do a refresh, just like she wants to do a refresh on her website. You know, every now and then you got to go and you got to update and you got to change things and you got to, you know, reflect that it's growth.
Okay. Because that's the demographic that I want to target is mature women. Right. So someone who would look at my logo and see someone who looks like a millennial, you know, would just maybe keep going because they feel like that doesn't really reflect them. But if they had a logo or brand that looked like a more mature woman with gray hair, you know, then they could maybe be interested a little bit more, curious to see more.
But is that your only target audience, older people?
No, definitely not. I do waist beads. That's one of my biggest sellers, and I have all ages, from teenagers on up, who want to buy the waist beads. But um, I guess just in terms of, you know, giving women the freedom to be, themselves and to step out the box. And older women tend to be a little bit more inhibited,
Mhm.
with, can I wear that? Can I get away with this look? Or that does the jewelry make a statement overpowers me? Or they kind of a little bit more fearful to just be free, than younger women. So I don't know if I'm kind of putting it all together and making too much out of this, but I just feel like people just need to be who they are and just not
Right,
be boxed in.
right.
And so, yeah.
So you think changing your logo? I mean, I would love to see it. I would love to just get y'all website so I could just look at, just kind of look through y'all websites and see what your businesses are and stuff like that.
How can I send you my information?
Um, in the chat, if we can we get a list of everybody who's on the call, like their businesses? You think we can do that, Meredith?
Oh, absolutely. If everybody still on the call would like to drop their link to their website or the name of their business in the chat, definitely I can send that file over to Tonya and she could check it out.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And also remember, this is a networking opportunity for everyone that attends too. So we can all visit each other's website. I know that I told Hassan that I was going to send a connection on LinkedIn. So however you like to connect with people, drop that information, the name of your business, what you do, because we want this to be valuable in addition to getting information about public relations and the subject matter expert from our subject matter expert, which is Tonya. We want this to be a networking opportunity for all Black business owners, because you never know when, you might want to refer somebody, or you're looking for a gift, or you just want to talk to a fellow business owner about something.
Right. That's what it's all about, networking, building relationships. That's so key.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been I mean, I hope I've been helpful.
You're very helpful. This was insightful. I learned some things about public relations that I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, public relations it's important. It's all about, your brand. Your brand is everything. We are walking billboards, actually.
So Gracie dropped her link in the chat to touchofgrace.com, and Erica dropped her business in the chat, which is mdpropertyattorney.com, and also kidamore.net. And Grace's business name is A Touch of Gracie. She's on Instagram and Facebook. Erica, tell us about Kidamore. I don't think I know about that particular project.
Okay, so Kiddamore is it's a parent network. It's a media it's a media group, but it's a parent network. I have a business partner, but my business partner who was running the social media end of it. I was running the business end of it. We haven't really been as active as we needed to be. We've been trying to put out content at least twice a month, but she's had to care for family members, and she's recently lost 3 of them.
Oh,
No.
So we've kind of just been focusing on doing what makes us money at the moment, and right now my practice is making me money at the moment. And she's a marketing executive for Adrian Harpool, I think it is. I think that's what it's called. And so that's what she's focusing on, is making sure the bills get paid and her child is taken care of. So we haven't really been focusing on Kiddamore, but the webpage is still active. The emails are still active. We're still sending out emails. It's just not as frequently as usual.
Okay. And Lisa, I see you dropped your email. Would you like to share with us your business, what you do?
Hold on for 1 second.
And while Lisa is getting ready, I'm going to close out the comments. Oh, it's a hair salon. Okay.
Oh,
I'm I'm going to close out the comments, and then I'm going to randomly select, I'm going to use comment picker to randomly select a winner for Tonya's 30-day brand awareness campaign giveaway. So get excited.
drum roll, drum roll.
Give me a couple of minutes so I can do it. But go ahead, Lisa. You can let us know who you are and what it is that you do.
Okay. My name is Lisa Wilson, and I'm from on the Eastern Shore of Maryland, and I have a hair salon. And I'm, pretty much, old school for as, dealing with social media. But this has really been helpful for me to be able to see if I want to actually continue with my business or add some other things on. So I can be able to network with more, individuals, basically maybe doing another website or something like that. But I'm glad that I did sit in on this Zoom because it has really helped me a lot this evening.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. I'm glad it was able to help.
Oh, and then also I'm glad that usually when I'm on a Zoom call, it's usually somewhere else, where you can't get to the people, but to be in Baltimore, that is really local for me. So that's kudos for that, to be able to network with individuals that are actually local.
Right.
Awesome. I am glad that you were able, I'm glad that everyone was able to join in. So I'm putting the comments over in comment picker. To give you a little bit of history, I think mostly everyone on the call now is local to Baltimore. I originally got started um in the like black owned business like promotion space by creating a black owned business directory app. It's called By Black Baltimore 365, and I think that's how I met quite a few of you, although I met Gracie a couple of years ago in a group on Facebook in Black Girls Craft, and I came into her store and we made some stuff on the Cricut. I don't know if you remember that, Gracie.
Of course I do.
Okay. But last summer, with the pandemic happening and like around Juneteenth, I just kind of started reflecting. It was so much going on in terms of like the death of Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery and, George Floyd and all of that stuff. I was just like, I need to do something, for the benefit of our people. And, we need to shop amongst ourselves and circulate our dollars. And I'm not originally from Baltimore. I'm originally from Flint, Michigan, but I've been in Baltimore a little over 11 years now. And I know, that there are obviously black owned businesses here, but I don't know like all of them. I don't know where they're located. So someone added me to Buy Black Networking Baltimore group, and now I think it's like 60,000 people in that group. But at the time it may have been like 40,000 people or something. And people were like constantly posting all of these businesses like, let's support this business. And it wasn't just like hair salons and churches. It was, all varieties of businesses, restaurants, convenience stores, farmers, like it runs the gamut. Because a lot of times when you think about black owned businesses, we think hair salons, churches, and, a select few different vertical, categories of businesses. And there's all sorts of black owned businesses around Baltimore. And I'm like, I need to keep tabs on all of these places and put them in a database. And I was trying to save them in my phone and it wasn't really working out. So that's how I created the app. And the app launched June of last year. But since that time, I've expanded it because all people wanted to get on the Baltimore app. I'm like, you can't be in Atlanta trying to add your business to the Baltimore app. That's not how this works. So so I ended up, expanding the concept into Always Buy Black. So that's how we got here. So I market it as, or I promote it as, a national or international black owned business website now. We're, web based now. And I still have the Buy Black Baltimore app. I don't get a chance to contribute as much time to it as I used to, but I try to direct people over to Always Buy Black because all of the businesses that were located on Buy Black Baltimore 365 are on Always Buy Black. So we're just trying to grow the audience and get more people, pulled into the movement. So that's how we got here. But I think for the most part, a lot of the audience is still based in Baltimore, although we are expanding. So that's kind of the backstory of the two
Hopefully,
brands.
when summertime comes at my office, we can have some networking events out on the patio. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, once COVID is over, and hopefully, we can come together and do some networking events. You know, I don't know.
Your
I would
event,
love it.
Yeah, just it's Zoom and stuff is nice, and I know that's what we have to do for now, but eventually maybe get a couple of businesses to come together and just kind of network, and I think it may be nice.
where's your office located, Tonya?
Down Leg Mason Tower, downtown. You came to my lunch.
No, I know, but I wanted the people to know.
Oh, okay. I was like, you came to my lunch. I'm located at Leg Mason Tower downtown in Harbor East.
You like, she done got on here acting brand new.
But yeah, that's where the office is. But there's a nice space out there. I think in the summertime when it's nice, we can probably come together and do some nice networking events, bringing some businesses together.
I think that would be awesome. I want to get into doing some networking events. So I'm trying to randomly select a comment, and they got me over here caught up.
Well, I just want to say, ladies, both Meredith and Tonya, this has been outstanding. And the sharing from the other members, ladies who are on the group. But I've learned a lot today. I've taken lots of notes. So I have lots of homework to go and do my research on some of these companies. And I'd like for us, if we could, do a follow-up just to kind of see where we are, maybe in a month or so. But thank you.
Absolutely. And my information is up, and if you all just need to call, ask me questions, that's what I'm all about. I'm all about giving and helping in any way that I can. That's what it's all about.
Okay, so we have a winner, ladies.
I'm
gonna share my screen. Oh, I don't think I can share my screen. I'm not the host.
Who the host?
Are you able to give me host privileges?
Okay, let me see. Meredith, let's see.
I was nervous when we had our person join, the gentleman join. He was saying Black Lives Matter. I'm like, no.
He's on the wrong call.
I hope he doesn't do anything inappropriate.
Oh, God.
I was like, I need control so I can kick him out. So our winner is
drum roll.
Erica Fletcher.
Hey, Erica Fletcher.
Congratulations, Erica.
Erica had what was her business?
She is an attorney, and she also
yay. Okay.
And she also has Kitamore.
Yes. What is Kitamore?
She was saying the Parent Network.
The Parent Network. Okay.
Yeah, but she's also a practicing attorney. You have a real estate specialty, don't you, Erica?
I do. Commercial real estate.
Okay.
And the business keeps coming and coming and coming. So I need to kind of redo myself, rebrand myself.
All right. Well, hey, you just won. We're going to work on it. We're going to start working on it.
Yes, indeed.
So congratulations, Erica.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited. Woo-hoo! I said big money in the chat.
I saw that.
Yeah. Awesome. But yes, so let's get it started. So I'm gonna get all your information and set up a call and we can get started.
Sounds good.
All right. So in good old church fashion, are all minds clear?
I'm good.
I'm good. Thank you. It's been very enlightening.
Thank you all for coming and just allow me to be able to share. And thank you, Meredith, for giving me the opportunity as well. Thank you so much. I'm appreciative.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. This was great. And so on that note, we are going to close out, and I will send out the replay, the link to the replay and all the resources that we discussed and I will get Erica and Tonya connected so that they can start working on the brand awareness campaign. And with that, thank you ladies for coming out tonight, and I will see you all next month. I'll be sharing out.
Did you get the survey link?
Oh, yes. Sorry about
Okay.
that.
That's
I'll
okay.
drop it in the chat. We have a survey. Tonya has a survey to get some feedback on the presentation and your thoughts on tonight's event. And if you would be so kind as to take that survey, we will definitely appreciate that. And I'm going to drop the link momentarily. And I'll also put it in the email that I send out tomorrow with the replay too.
Okay, perfect.
So I just dropped. Is that gonna work? I can never tell if the links are live. Is the link clickable?
Yeah, it works. I
Yeah,
clicked on it.
Okay.
Erica. I just clicked on it.
Okay, thank you, Erica. Cool beans. All right, ladies. So you all have a wonderful evening. And like I said, you'll hear from me tomorrow with the links to the replay. And if you have any questions or, we can all get connected. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
I go.
Great. I'm